I'm going to share one of the biggest financial mistakes that my husband and I made in hopes that you won't. If you're engaged or newly married, especially if you're looking for your dream home, then this video is for you. I'm going to take you on a little road trip. I feel like I'm Mr. Rogers here. I'm going to take you on a little road trip to our old neighborhood and tell you what exactly happened in the first few years of our marriage. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to take you to our old neighborhood where we bought our dream home, and it was the perfect home for our wedding. We had a lot of wonderful pictures. My family from Holland came over and they all insisted on wearing hats because you don't go to church without wearing a hat. So come join me on this little road trip to our old neighborhood. For the best marriage advice, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when we post a new video every Wednesday. Hi, my husband and I co-founded Intentional Marriages. We've led over 100 couples in a marriage curriculum where we have shared the good, bad, and the ugly. And today's video is about an ugly lesson we learned the hard way. And our heart's desire is to help you prevent learning things the hard way. So we're all about turning decades of lessons into days for you. So hopefully you can benefit by learning from our hard life lesson on this financial decision we made. I mean, the excuse I have is that we were engaged and excited to start our life together, but that was no excuse for the mistake that we made. As I mentioned in this video here, 41% of Gen Xers and 29% of Boomers have cited financial reasons as the reasons why they got divorced. So needless to say, it's important that we get on the same page regarding our finances. The problem with Russ and I is that we are on the same page about making a mistake. And here's the mistake that we made. Before we got married, Russ and I were looking for a house to purchase. We had spent all day looking at homes within our budget. And at the end of the day, I knew that there was this dream home Russ had always talked about. And I thought, it can't hurt anything. Let's just swing by there while we have an agent and go check it out. So we did. We went to the neighborhood and it was gorgeous. And it was a very large home, all 7,300 square feet of it. Yeah, it was huge. It was a house with a pool overlooking the golf course. And I mean, it was gorgeous. I could see why Russ called it his dream home that eventually he would want to purchase. Now, mind you, as I shared last week in this video, I was the only one that had a salary to qualify on, so we knew that this particular home was way outside our budget, at least 25 to 30% outside our budget. So it wasn't a consideration. But as we were walking around the house, I knew this old wives' tale that if you sit down in the house that you are looking at, that means that's the one you're going to buy. And so jokingly, I remember we were walking downstairs to leave this house, and I look up at the top of the stairs and Russ is sitting at the top of the stairs. And I'm like, no, get up, do not sit down. And so we all laughed, but little did I know it set in motion for when we left. I was asking Russ, let's call your mortgage friends. Let's just see what the numbers would look like, right? I mean, that can't hurt anything. So he called up his mortgage friends, found out what we could qualify for, and wow, if we did an interest-only loan, that would be even better. And then all of a sudden, the numbers started to work. I mean, we were stretched if we tried it, but it would work. So we started to put the paperwork together and called the agent and told her to put an offer in. And our heads are just spinning like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going to happen. This is amazing. Comment below, let me know, have you ever made a really big purchase that you regretted later with your spouse? Now, did we need a house this big? Absolutely not. But we had dreams of hosting small groups at our house, having lots of guests over, having a lot of family stay over, spend the night, and we would grow into it. We would decorate it over time. But one thing I don't think either one of us really considered was, well, what about the utilities? I mean, 1 month during the summer, our AC bill was over $800. I mean, you know, just thinking back is just amazing that we justified this. But you know how we justified it? Is we didn't ask anybody any questions. We didn't ask anyone or tell anyone, hey, by the way, this is what we're doing, because we knew what the reaction would be. People who loved us would have said,
"You're crazy. Crazy to be doing this so early on in your marriage."
Especially because we had so many financial challenges. To add this on top of it, so as embarrassing as it is to share this big blunder of a mistake, I believe that if we share this, hopefully it'll show you that, wow, okay, I thought they were pretty, put together, financially sound couple, and that they made that big of a mistake. Yes, we did. So hopefully it'll release some of you guys to not make the same mistake, okay? Especially you newlyweds. We have such a heart for you newlyweds. And like I said earlier, the only excuse I can come up with is that we were in this dreamy love fog, and that dreamy love fogs don't have any limitations, right? I know, that's the only excuse I've got for you. Well, it didn't take long for the consequences to hit us. We purchased in 2004, and just a few months in, our mortgage almost doubled. Can you imagine? We were already at the max, and now it had doubled. Oh my gosh. Oh, I remember how painful that was, feeling like we are trapped inside this house, and I'm just thinking over and over, how did we make this mistake?
What's wrong with me? I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow.
And so the mortgage almost doubles. Our utility bills are like crazy. And now it's almost 2006 and we can't sell the house. It took over 8 months. And the most painful part about it is we even had to bring money to the table to the closing. I know. And what I thought I would never share this story ever. It was going to be our private story. Yes, people knew we eventually had to move. But what I've learned is when you make bad financial decisions in private, they have a way of becoming public. Let me say that again. When we make bad financial decisions in private, they have a way of becoming public. Now, obviously, people knew we were moving within the 2 years that we had purchased the house, but I never dreamed I was going to be sharing this with the World Wide Web via video. But what I've learned in the vulnerability of sharing our mistakes is that it releases some of you guys. And it releases you from, you know what, let's not go down that same path that Russ and Danielle did. And I'm more about that than saving my pride. I am more about you in learning from our life lessons, really hard life lessons. I spent a lot of nights in tears because I was scared and I was embarrassed. I was just embarrassed I had made this decision. So needless to say, we were shell-shocked that we had gotten to this position, and we left that house $90,000 in debt. That included our wedding, it included credit card debt, and it included the house. And it was amazing that we went from being debt-free, and fast forward in 2 years, we were $90,000 in debt. You know how we could have avoided this whole situation is by simply asking our mentors or close friends. We could have laid out our financial situation. We could have said, this is what we want to purchase. And anyone, you don't even have to have a strong financial background, anyone would have said, you're crazy. Do not do this. But like any negative situation, there was a lot of good that came out of it. We had met with a financial mentor, which was hard for both of us because we felt like we knew better, right? We just didn't do better. And just knowing doesn't mean you'll do the right thing. But what we learned from that financial mentor is the whole give, save, live. When we had continued to give during this time, we weren't saving and we were living to the extreme, right? And so just that simple step of saving and being more intentional with it made a key difference for us. So now we were giving, saving, and living. And The second step that really made a difference was we started to track our expenses. Now, in general, we knew where our money was going, a lot to the house, a lot to credit card bills, but tracking our expenses now held us both accountable. And as much as there are so many apps out there that you could do this very easily, but what we've learned in having apps track it for us is that it develops a report. You look at the report and you're like, oh, okay. When you track the expenses, Russ and I look at our expenses, and Russ charts them in an Excel spreadsheet. That interaction, and I'm going to be talking about that more next Wednesday, so stay tuned for that video. But that simple act of us doing our expenses together has been so beneficial in us understanding where exactly we are with our finances, and it holds us both accountable to what we're spending in our financial decisions moving forward. So the moral of the story is, please involve mentors, close friends, financial mentors, financial coaches, anywhere that you are willing to open up your books and say, hey, here's a big decision we're about to make. What do you think? If you need some guidance on how to track your expenses, we have a free download on the spreadsheet that Russ and I have been using ever since we moved out of that house since 2006. So we've been using this spreadsheet for 14 years, and it breaks it up into the needs and the wants, and hopefully your wants don't outweigh your needs, right? So you can get that in the description below. Just download that free spreadsheet, and if you have any questions about it, leave us a comment below and we'll be happy to help you out. If you like this video, even if you thought we're crazy to put this out there, please give us a like below, subscribe, and take a screenshot. Share it with your friends. Comment below if you are ready to include mentors to hold you accountable and speak into your finances. Young couples and newlyweds, please, please, please don't let your dreams overtake your bank account. You'll be in quicksand before you know it. Don't forget to join us next week when we talk about how to use the tracking expenses spreadsheet. And if you are newly engaged or just married, check out this video here, the Marriage Manual for Newlyweds, to help you get on the right footing for your marriage. Thanks so much for watching.